Board games have been a part of my life for as long as I can remember. Most families, I think, gather around a table on a Friday night, snacks everywhere, laughing, yelling, all in good fun. I never knew that something that used to be a simple weekend ritual would turn into the worst experience of my life. My name is Alex. This weekend was my birthday, and my sister Melissa, along with my friends Dennis and Sandy, thought it would be fun to go to an antique store and pick something out for me. I collect old books and strange novelties. There's something about old things that draws me in. The faded fonts, the smell, the feeling of holding something preserved from the past. I always loved it. We stopped at dinner first, got shakes and fries, then headed to the antique shop, Merrill's Emporium. It was a small, aging building that had been run by the same family forever. I was never a fan of the owner's grandson, Oliver. He was old enough to be an antique himself. He never seemed to be in a good mood, never said a word when ringing me up, and had a long scar stretched across his face. I started exploring. Dennis and Sandy looked through old clothes, being loud as usual, while Melissa and I searched through old boxes in the back filled with completely random junk. I found an old camera in one of them once, which only made me more determined to find something better for my birthday. Then I heard Melissa call my name. I think I found something pretty cool. I ran over. She was holding a black box. Open, close. Don't fear the dark. A spooky board game, she said, smiling. I flipped it over to check the date. Nothing. No company, no markings at all. It looked older than anything I owned. I knew immediately. This was my birthday gift. We gathered everyone and went to check out. When I placed the game on the counter, Oliver looked down at it. He never smiles. I heard it's your birthday, he said quietly. This one's on me. I didn't know whether to feel excited or creeped out, but I thanked him anyway. We piled into the car and Dennis suggested we play at his place tonight. He had just cleared out his basement and was excited to show it off. Everyone agreed. Well, everyone except Sandy. She was always the scaredy cat of the group and didn't like the title of the game. But since it was my birthday, she reluctantly agreed. Around 9 p.m., we arrived at Dennis's house. He had candles set up on the table and snacks and drinks ready. We all sat down together. I pulled the box closer. Open, close. Don't fear the dark. Inside there was only a board with a single eye in the center, one card. The card read, "The owner of the game is open. The rest are closed. Whoever keeps their eyes closed longest wins. Don't fear the dark." I was confused. Why was I supposed to keep my eyes open? What was the point? Dennis shrugged. "You're probably the moderator. Watch if anyone cheats. We'll switch next round." That made enough sense. The board itself seemed pointless. Maybe just decoration. It was an old game after all. We finished our snacks and decided to start. Everyone covered their eyes. They laughed, teasing each other. "Be scared of the dark, open your eyes." It felt silly. And I started to understand why this game might actually be fun. Then after a few minutes, I saw it. In the corner of the room, a dark figure. Tall, long fingers hanging at its sides. I screamed. Everyone kept laughing. Dennis said, "You can't fool me into opening my eyes first." I tried to speak. The words barely came out. "Man, behind you." Sandy shouted, "Stop. You're trying to scare me." The dark figure slowly lifted its hand and pointed at Sandy. I forced the words out again. He, pointing at you. Sandy. She opens her eyes. Lights went off. Then on. Sandy was gone. I was frozen. My eyes were still open, and I could still barely talk. The figure was standing in the corner. "Don't open eyes," I whispered to Melissa and Dennis. Dennis reached out his hand, feeling for Sandy. "Where is she? I didn't hear her get up." I looked down at the board. Her name appeared on it. A line crossed right through it. The dark figure lifted its arm again and started to point right at Dennis. A voice spoke from the darkness.
"Do you fear the dark, Dennis?"
He panicked, turned around, and opened his eyes. Dennis was gone. Melissa screamed, but somehow she had kept her eyes closed this entire time. She reached out, realizing Dennis had disappeared. "I win," she yelled. "Go away." The whisper returned.
"Do you fear the dark, Melissa?"
"No," she said.
"Look at me."
I tried to speak. I couldn't. She turned and opened her eyes. I wasn't in the basement anymore. Only darkness, endless and silent. Across from me stood a red door. I ran toward it, but it never got closer. I am still here, a prisoner of the man in the corner. Thank you for walking through the doors to the abyss with me. If you enjoy these scary stories, please like, comment, and subscribe. My doors are always open. Dreams are timeless. Why wake up?